Hello, I'm Tina Kraus, Executive Director for Hospitality House.
And I'm Todd Carter, Director of Development at Hospitality House. And welcome to Blue Ridge Mountain Club, the place that invented social distancing.
Normally, we would be welcoming you to our annual Hope Luncheon event, but today we would like to ask you to join us for the first virtual Hope Survives event. Thank you to our board that has been so diligent this year to support the work that has been so much more challenging this year. They've helped us to make very difficult decisions as we worked through a time when the resources became even more scarce, as the phases and the stay-at-home orders changed all of our in-person events. They've been an encouragement as we plan for a virus that could bring widespread medical needs within our own doors, for both the clients and the staff. So thank you for the hours you give in service, and especially for the advocacy for the people who come through our doors. Let's say hello to our board chair, Lori Whitehead, and all of our board members.
Hey, I want to say thank you to our sponsors, Blue Ridge Mountain Club, David Patrick Moses, and A1 Vacuums. We are so appreciative of their support during this very challenging time. We couldn't be doing this without them. And thanks to all of you who bid during our first ever online auction. I really hope you got what you wanted and are going to be getting something magnificent very, very soon. Now, for those of you who've been here before, normally we wait until the end of the program to ask you for a gift. But as you can see, we have to do things a lot differently this year. So throughout this broadcast, you will see a variety of ways to give that'll pop up on your screen. Think of this as our virtual modern day telethon, Jerry Lewis not included. Just give when you're inspired and ready, and you can donate on Venmo at HOSPHOUSE or PayPal at paypal.me/HOSPHOUSE or Cash App HOSPHOUSE, or you can text HOSPHOUSE to 707070. I'm going to say that again because I've always wanted to have a way for people to give via text. HOSPHOUSE to 707070. Or you can go online to HOSPHOUSE.org. That's HOSPHOUSE.org. Thanks again for all of you who are joining us on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, or on our website. Now, it's not too late to share with your friends. Start a watch party on Facebook, share your link, and have them hop on and join us for our first ever virtual event. And for those of you who may just be hearing about us or are joining our event for the first time, here's a brief overview of what Hospitality House is all about.
I would either be dead or hopeless, be wanting to die. There would have been no hope for me other than this. I somehow just landed here, and thank God I did.
One of the biggest things for people to understand, or one of the misconceptions, is that we're a homeless shelter. And yes, we do shelter people in the storm, but we're really a housing agency that provides housing, hunger relief, and crisis assistance to keep people from becoming homeless.
I put my head, where I would drink a lot. And when you start doing that, people don't let you stay. So I decided to go to the Hospitality House.
Misconceptions about homelessness are ingrained in our culture. And if you look at the history of homelessness in America, it's a problem we created, so we believe that we can end it, we can solve it because we created it. As our society, we've got to learn to look beyond that and to see the 74-year-old woman that was locked in a shed, to see the 10-year-old girl fleeing with her mother in the middle of the night with no place to go, or hiding in their car in the Walmart parking lot, afraid to move. That's what homelessness really looks like. It's the 19-year-old kid with no family, zero family, is trying to make it on his own and doesn't know where to get the resources, doesn't understand his diagnosis of Asperger's, doesn't know about getting medication, has no one to help him do that because he's on his own. That's what homelessness really looks like.
What I often tell people when they ask me what we need most is we need a voice. We need their voice in the community. Their ability to go out and tell others what homelessness really looks like. And in this rural area, it is different. It is, as Todd described. That voice can make a lot of change.
They'll help you get back on your feet. As
Help
long
you
as
get
you're-
your dignity back, help you get your strength back spiritually, mentally. They are more flexible than some parents. Like they're incredible what they try to do for everybody that needs help from them. And I would give anybody the advice that was going through what I was going through to not wait as long as I did. You know, to hurry up and get over here.
Hello, my name is Jim Pitts. I'm the General Manager of Blue Ridge Mountain Club. I want to personally welcome you to the Hospitality Hope Survives virtual event. This year, instead of being together for the luncheon to laugh, cry, and celebrate Hospitality House, we find ourselves confined to video. And regrettably, instead of having the emotion of the luncheon to relax your pocketbooks, we only have a serene backdrop. Who was that guy? BRMC's mission is to build community. The essence of that mission is to nurture the spirit of community. And while nurturing the spirit of the community might be our mission, it's actually mission critical to Hospitality House. It's important that Hospitality House has the resources and the opportunities to continue their very important work. So the purpose of this event today is to ask you to please make a generous gift to Hospitality House. And one of the things we recognize as a result of the pandemic is what is really happening behind our face mask. Oftentimes it's hard to tell whether somebody is happy or somebody is sad. But at Hospitality House, these people are always happy. They're always there to provide comfort and undying love and consideration and compassion for those who enter its doors. It is critically important that we're able to continue this mission and for them to continue to do their very important work. Thank you, and please make your contribution. Without anything further, Tina Kraus.
Thank you, Jim Pitts, for your continued support from Blue Ridge Mountain Club to Hospitality House. It takes a unique individual to dedicate your service to the work we do. We share the success of people when they move out on their own. 85 people so far this year. I've seen a level of dedication that far exceeds most employees. As I took calls during the middle of the night from staff who were walking the greenway throughout the night, looking for one disabled client who did not come home. We shared tears of sorrows when we lost lives this year. The hours are long. The commitment must be genuine. If not, the people who live with us will not trust. Today, please join me in thanking some of the most compassionate and dedicated people in this community. Say hello to the Hospitality House staff. Every year, I have the honor of announcing an award that is given to one staff member who has gone above and beyond throughout the entire year. This person started early with the agency in 2015, working as a student on a service learning project. After graduation from Appalachian State, they applied for a more long-term project as a 2-year AmeriCorps Vista. We saw something very different in this young person, a level of leadership and dedication to our mission that's not often seen in a person at that early age. As the AmeriCorps Vista project came to an end, we knew we had someone that we needed to keep on staff. We wanted him to be a part of our team. As a full-time staff member, he's continued to live out that mission, placing first the value of dignity and respect for people experiencing homelessness. I can hear him in his office talking right now, saying to people, "I care about you." The level and trust and relationship that he's been able to build with people is remarkable. As I wrote this, I felt my own tears coming as I recalled him moving a man who'd been homeless and outdoors for several years into his own apartment in permanent supportive housing. This man didn't have much. In fact, all he had was a backpack. But amazingly, the back of this staff member's truck was full, as he had collected just enough items, including a bed, towels, the essentials that any of the rest of us would have, so that this man could move in that evening and call that place home. I watch this happen every day, just a part of the job, making a difference and truly caring about people as they cross his path. This year, the Above and Beyond Award goes to Ethan Flynn. I've watched this happen every day, just part of the job, making a difference and truly caring for the people who cross his path. This year, the Above and Beyond Award goes to Ethan Flynn. Volunteering at Hospitality House has changed the way I view homelessness. That's just one of the comments I often get when I talk with our volunteers. Through the years, we've offered so many different ways to share people's talents. You might, however, find that when you come through those doors, that you are the one who is learning something new. This year has taken a different look for our volunteers. With COVID upon us, many of our dedicated volunteers have had to serve from outside the doors, preparing meals and ordering food from area restaurants just to keep the 11,000 meals a month going for the people in need. We had to rethink the way food and housing services were being delivered. As the needs continued to grow, a challenge faced us, with 90% of our volunteer base having to stay at home. But there were a few that showed up, and each of them said, "I want to help. I'm strong, and I'll take the precautions right alongside your staff to help keep the work going." One person who came stayed with her local parents because the area she was living in was already riddled with the COVID virus. Instead of staying home safely, she decided to dedicate 40 hours a week at Hospitality House, ensuring that our food pantry was still running. And even though it had switched to a drive-through pantry, she worked out every detail and met every car with a smile and a box of food. Over the years, we've seen many types of dedication in volunteers. This year, though, a couple stood out. I've watched their commitment in their work over the last 9 years that I've been employed there. They rarely miss a Tuesday night dinner. Not here to serve, but just to eat with the residents, share a smile, and have good conversation. On Sunday morning, they live out their faith by dropping by for morning coffee, sitting and listening to the residents who get up early. This year, more than ever, we needed this couple. with all the changes on how we could safely deliver food, we were getting pretty desperate for an extra set of hands. And there they were. They said to me, well, normally this time of year we would be traveling with a cook crew on disaster relief teams. Right now the teams aren't traveling. So we realized that we needed to be right here in our own community. This is the work that we're supposed to be doing. So several times a week they eagerly show up, knock on the back door, and ask to wash dishes with a smile. They'll stay around and plate up 100+ to-go plates, so every person has a good meal, served nightly in our dining room. They're always leaving and saying, if you need help, our number's on the board, just call us. They have a caring smile, a listening ear, and they just bring joy to a room, which is so needed right now during this time. This year, we would like to say thank you and honor Bob and Janet Ellison for the Volunteer of the Year Award.
We've been in the business of changing lives for over 36 years. We've helped many people survive before, and we're going to keep on doing that because that's what we do. After all, we have faced life and death as we continue to walk beside people in challenging situations. Now, take a look at how things have changed and get the inside scoop on how we're handling a global pandemic. The decisions that we had to make based on a global pandemic and the things that inherently went against our core values as an agency, dignity, compassion, respect. I mean, dignity is huge for us here, and to sit back and think, well, that person no longer gets to say, I don't like broccoli. They're getting broccoli because that's what we're cooking tonight. Taking that away hurt.
The most normal thing that occurs here are the meals. People are coming through the door and one of the meals is getting ready to be served, and that is something that has changed dramatically. People gathered at mealtime. They came in for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It was a time of community and people sitting around the table and having conversation, and the serving line. The groups who helped to serve our meals, that was human contact, and the opportunity for them to see people who were coming in to eat, and that interaction is now changed completely. I think the second hardest decision we had to make was to put a plexiglass shield up in front of the desk, and that may have been the hardest actually. I think I sat in here and cried because I said that was a barrier we never wanted to have between staff and the people coming through our door.
I live with a suitcase in my office, a shower bag, and my pillows and blankets. We all have an air mattress. Our board of directors bought us new air mattresses, and so if it ever happens, Tina and I will be sleeping under our desks and with an air mattress and pillows, and we'll just do the best we can.
I think it came from a sense of understanding that people could lose their life. There was a sense of urgency that we had to get a plan in place. We deal with individuals who come in with untreated medical needs, untreated mental health needs, but those high-end disabilities, higher needs were all on that list of people who were at the highest risk. Not only the clients, but the staff. We have a staff of 23 people that we had to figure out how are we going to protect them. We don't close. We didn't have that luxury of saying we're gonna close for a bit to get things in order. We had to do this while in action.
And I will tell you, we have a homeless people are extremely resilient. They have been through so many things that you and I can't necessarily imagine. Resourceful, resilient, determined survivors. We're here to talk about hope surviving. Well, guess who learns more about survival every day? I do. More than I ever teach.
If there's one thing a person who's experiencing homelessness knows, it's survival. Every hour could be spent looking for a place to lay your head down. The place you camped last night drew strangers who looked longingly at the blankets as you unrolled them. You no longer feel safe, so it's time for you to move on. It could be enduring the cold, wet weather as you make your way across the icy greenway, wearing the worn shoes that you were given to start this new job, hurrying to beat the dark as you make your way back to the shelter for another night's stay. You may have survived the abuse of your own adult children, who continue to take your Social Security check each month while putting you out of the car at the door of the shelter, letting you know that they'll be back next month so that you can sign that check for them again. Survivors also can be very young. As you listen to your mom on her phone say, "I don't know where we're going next. He'll find us no matter where we go." She presses closer with her small body to her mom's knee, remembering that he shouted last time, "If you leave, you will not live to see the sunrise." Her young face watches the sky closely for the sun to come up. Survivors can be lonely as they lay in the hospital bed with doctors and nurses speaking all around them. The news is not good for you. You don't really understand all the words that they're saying, but you do feel the sting when one of them says, "They don't have a family to notify. They're from Hospitality House." You've survived worse. Why don't they just ask you? If you could speak right now, you would tell them, your family is Hospitality House. Just call them, please. So many stories of survival. Is that how we see people living with homelessness? As survivors? Or do we have our own opinion? Do we look beyond the appearance, the anger, and the defensive behavior? Do we see a boy who wanted to finish high school, learn to drive, or have his own car like all the other kids? Or do we see a man with dull eyes who's lived with years of substance abuse? Just like his own parents, he would be no different. Do we see any hope? Can you see past the survivor who wears his guard like a wall that no one can get through? Every day we see survivors. It's hard work, not for the person who expects quick solutions that fit in a 9-to-5 job. Every person is different. They've survived situations that make most of us uncomfortable to talk about. How do you even begin to break down those walls they've built to protect themselves from hurt again? We start by being present. So many times I listen to staff as they walk beside a person who's just shown their worst behavior, and they say to them in a calm voice, "You can't keep doing this. I care about you. Can we talk about this some more tomorrow?" When you stay present with a person, eventually you do see that survivor. As staff, we often have to step back a moment to look for the strength in that person. What does that person do well? How can we help them see the characteristics they have as strength? It's taken a toll on their appearance, So sometimes you have to sit with them a while to see the person inside, seeing what they have survived as a part of their story. When that happens, together we both begin to shift. There are more chapters to be written. They go beyond the pain and the broken pieces. That's not what has defined them. But that level of strength that they have built is where they have survived. It's that strength that we are looking for as they enter the doors of Hospitality House. Today, we want you to listen to the chapters that have built the lives of these survivors. These chapters are not finished, so sit with them and be present. There's hope in these stories.
Well, I came up here from Raleigh, and at first I was sleeping on the streets. I have nothing to be ashamed of, because I put my head, where I would drink a lot, and when you start doing that, people don't let you stay.
My mom got tired of picking up after me and let me come and live with her every time I mess up. So she just kind of told me I need to fend for myself this time.
People always say that I'm resilient, and sometimes I'm tired of being resilient.
I'd probably be dead somewhere, OD'd. If not dead, then I would still be in active addiction. And I wouldn't have my kids, I wouldn't have a home, I wouldn't have anything going for me.
I overcome drug addiction, I overcome homelessness.
Cancer, bipolar disorder, being homeless.
And we're happy. We've overcome so many roadblocks in our life, and life's amazing.
Surviving to me means finding myself, being strong. You have to have strength after going through all the things that you've been through to know that you survived and be like, whoa.
I just want to thank the staff at the Hospitality House for all of their hard work. They truly are a blessing, godsend, and I would tell anybody, that the Hospitality House is just resources that is so needed in this community, and I would hope that it would continue on for many years.
And I think just being able to do all this will be motivation for the kids, to follow in our footsteps and to do, we've shown them what not to do, but I think, they will see us succeed, and that will want them to succeed. And that's the main thing to me, is that I want to show my kids what, that everything is possible if you just try.
All those unfinished stories, the stories that are being rewritten, the lives that are being changed, the questions that we might ask of those who walk through our door. Who do you say I am? Do you have any idea what I've survived? This is what we do. I like to call it personal victory. We're in the business of personal victory and helping people reach that goal. And we can't do that without your support. Try all that we might, it would be impossible without financial support to help individuals and families not just get back on their feet, but thrive into a new life. Write that different story. The one that involves happiness, fulfillment, and personal victory. I know we've talked a lot about giving so far, and yes, this is a fundraiser. So I'm going to remind you all again why we're here. We're here to help every single person that you just saw on that video, to assist in their future. That's what we do it for. We do it for their future so that we can make a stronger community together. Everyone should have the ability to have housing, to have food, to have basic needs, and to thrive. Everyone deserves a personal victory. So, whether you're going to get out your checkbook or whether you've already donated, I'm going to remind you again about how you can support the mission. It's not just the mission, it's the people that make the mission. We are there for the people. They need your support now more than ever before. So you can hop on Venmo at HOSPHOUSE. If you have PayPal, you can go to paypal.me/HOSPHOUSE. You can Cash App HOSPHOUSE. You can write a check and send it to P.O. Box 309, Boone, North Carolina, 28607. You can go online to our website at hosphouse.org, or the thing you've all been waiting for, the thing I'm most excited about, is you can text us right now. HOSPHOUSE to 707070 to text us your donation. Make a gift and make someone's life a lot better. Thank you again for joining us for our first ever virtual event. If you've missed any or part of this and want to share it, you can click on this link below, or you can join our email list by going to our website, and we're going to be sending the whole thing back out by email. And finally, we want to remind everyone that during this uncertain time, it's really important that we all do our part and follow the 3 W's. To wait 6 feet apart, to wash your hands, and to wear a mask, and show your love for your fellow community members.
Look at all the homeless people. Look at all the homeless people. Woke up this morning looking for work with no money and nowhere to go. Oh, I felt so desperate and lonely. I could be out at a hole in my soul. And nobody knows all the homeless people. Where do we all come from? All the homeless people. Where do we all belong? Looking for shelter, cold and it's windy and you know it's raining outside. Nowhere to hide, nobody working. There are no jobs and it seems that the throwing inside. I gave up the fight, all the homeless people. Where do they all come from? All the homeless people. Where do we all belong? Look at all the homeless people. Look at all the homeless people. There are so many who die in the street, hungry, lonely, addicted to drugs. And there are no hugs. People pass by us. All they can do is to roll up the windows and stand.